Welcome back to Lost in Time. So here we go. Magic hair blower.
More like magic hair blow me.
Ha 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 ha
ha.
Evergreen.
SCWRM is filmed in front of a live audience.
Get 7 of these objects to receive a clock symbol.
But yeah, magic hair blower. Like, we've talked about how it does feel like some stuff was rushed. Okay, if we're to assume that this was one of the later levels made because, ironically, despite it being the first time area you go to, this is going to be one of the later levels that you unlock, like, I mean, way later into the game. Like, now don't get me wrong, the idea of recoloring Wabbit on the Run to be darker is not inherently bad, but that being said, it's called Magic Hair Blower, and that's because you use the fans.
Yeah.
The thing is, you barely use it throughout the level. That's like if you had a Crash Bandicoot level with a river pun, but the river only shows up for like the first 2 seconds of the level. What the heck?
Well, yeah.
I'm pretty sure there were some levels in Bravo Cortex that fit the description.
Probably.
Okay, the basic gist of it with this level is that it's, like I've foreshadowed in the previous part, it's literally 90% of it. There's some new level design added later on, but 90% of this level is just the first level Wabbit Run again.
It really makes me wonder, if they just had no idea what to do with the prehistoric era, because, you get the first level, which is the most solid one, then you get a boss-only level against Elmer, which is, just that. Then there's the Golden Carrot level, which is a recreation of, Wabbit and Duck season, the war. And then there's this. The other eras tend to have some level of, more variety, even if in minimal spaces, in creation. But the prehistoric era really falls very short on that front.
Not only that, you only really... okay, maybe there's some... you technically do get to fight Elmer Fudd in some of the levels, but as far as Elmer Fudd boss battles go, I think it's like only the one.
Unless they really just, in the developer team, genuinely just consider this, this hub to be the more tutorial and easiest, era, and as a result, you have to treat it accordingly. But I don't know, because I argue with the scaling, the difficulty scaling with the level design does not really match an escalation.
Not only that, but remember, this level we're playing is probably one of your closer to endgame levels because you have to collect a lot to unlock this level, essentially. So, like, if anything, yeah, while they could have treated the hub world as a whole as a tutorial bout here, it would be pretty weird to do that for what is meant to be one of the later levels of the game. Also, why are there scorpions in this time date?
To be fair, prehistoric era might have been, prehistoric scorpions. I don't mind that,
It's whatever. Like
I said, I grew up with the Casper the Caveman cartoon, which small correction there. While there is no ancestors or bugs in that level, Duffy actually is there. So that prototype version of Elmer called Casper actually tries to hunt Duffy in that one. My point is that this is not too surprising. That's it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Alright, yeah, that's basically it. My guess about the scorpions is, I guess, the idea is that the cavemen are asleep, except for that one that throws rocks. I don't know. That's like the only possible explanation I can come up with.
It's also a bit sad because, the night effect is not even too bad for the level. If it was just, an originally designed level with the night aesthetic, it probably would be a neat send-off to the age. I don't know.
And might as well, not to mention have an extra boss against Elmer Fudd, maybe, because Marvin gets 2 boss battles, Sam gets...
Sam gets multiple battles.
Yeah, multiple, like 3 if I remember correctly, whereas...
there is one we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
And Roxy and Muggsy pretty much have... well, okay.
They have 1, 2...
technically not a boss fight.
Yeah,
it's still an enemy encounter with them.
Yeah, technically 3, except one of them is only Muggsy and not Rocky. But technically it's 3 boss battles. The Stone Age only has 1 boss battle with Elmer, and that's it.
early on to wood, so before you know it's already over. If again, this is another thing that the sequel will improve on that, because the entire point in Time Buster is to basically travel through each era and collect the boss tokens, by exploring the different levels and doing the mini games of the era, to unlock properly the boss of the era, which functions as a climax to that.
Yeah, which does bring me to another thing. Like, usually when, like, a time era ends, medieval times aside, obviously, usually the last level you contend with involves, well, a boss encounter of sorts, essentially. Yosemite's, like, the Pioneer's final one, yes, that will involve an encounter with Sam. The 1930s one, the car chase, essentially. And, obviously Marvin with the space-time one.
Even the medieval times had those two random guys. There was something at the very least.
Yes.
Basically, yeah.
Again, do not get me wrong. This is still a classic that I hold near and dear to my heart, and it is by no means bad. It is one of those games, though, where I'm curious to know just what was going through the devs' heads.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it got a sequel, so...
Oh no, that's because it was very successful at the time.
I said, it's not a bad game.
And the dev team, made also other games other than the sequel, like, Dog, Sheep, and Wolf. If I remember
was that the same
correctly-
developers? I think there was a
Yes,
different studio.
No, I think it's still them.
Let me see.
Some of the animation cycles are the same. I know that Taz Wanted is not by the same developers, but it's still published by Infogrames.
Mm-hmm.
Great!
Then there was Acme Arsenal on the... Particularly, it was a late cycle PS2, Xbox, GameCube title, but I know nothing about that. There was the tie-in to Look Back in Action that you talked about in Jova, and that was kinda it. Yeah.
What a shame.
Like, sure, there was that... like you mentioned at the beginning, there was that... sport game that got announced recently, but it looked so cheap.
Well, is the gacha game successful?
Yes, it's been going on for, I think, 7 years at this point.
Wow, that's a lot longer than gacha games last nowadays, normally.
Depends on the type, Lives. Again, it's mostly because, those that get closed early make more views for articles. But I can assure you there are plenty that, have been going on for a long while.
I will say typically a gacha game failing is a really bad sign, because gacha games by nature are, well, made for the express purpose of money. And I know what you're thinking, like, well, isn't that most games? So I mean, gachas literally are just those games that are meant to print the FU money.
There we go.
Still need to look in... Oh my god. Also, is it true that they actually had a big Chunguster World of Mayhem?
Yes, well, that's been going on for a while. There are even variants of that. Yes.
Goodness gracious.
Recently, it's getting a rework. Again, it's clearly a game made for the fans and takes advantage of the gacha format to even experiment, rather than also while also having all the different variants, taking advantage of the fact that Looney Tunes had so different cartoons with characters having different appearance. Like, for example, the entire cast of the Scarlet Pumpernickel, all there. The entire cast of Carrot Blanca, all there, for example.
Right.
But that allowed them to experiment to have new variation of stuff that never got to the shorts format, and I think so far it has been working just fine.
Okay.
There you go.
So basically, some of the cavemen are asleep and some aren't. I don't really get this.
Also, this is the level that gets two sections instead of just one like the original. Mostly because this section at the end is slightly longer than what the original had. The original has just the sequence where to sneak with the pterodactyl, but in here there's a bit more.
Yep.
And hey, the music is different as well, so it's not a complete copy-paste of Wabbit on the Run.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, there you go. Oh,
Shit. Thankfully, the pterodactyl doesn't kill you, but it just, picks you back and, puts you back on the beginning of the path. And for some reason, it has the very stock dragon demon sound effect scream. I've heard that so many fucking times. And yes, the game forces you to sneak around till the end, to get that clock.
A better or worse use than the sneaking in Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex?
I mean, better because this is not situational. You can do that at any point, and the area is big enough for you to do it. So.
I mean, you could technically also tiptoe anywhere in Wrath of Cortex.
Sure, I can argue here it's still, more useful as a result. You have to do it more times.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
okay. One more box. Okay.
Out of 7. Yeah, it's another thing. Even the Acme box count is strange because usually it's 5 or 10, but in here it's 7.
Yeah, weird. Maybe they
I
could.
guess maybe that's
Oh,
his
no.
identity.
And this Acme box is alive for whatever reason, so you have to go underground and destroy it this way.
Only time it ever happens in the entire game.
How weird.
Okay. Headcanon. This is the level where the devs just decided to screw around, essentially, because
Yeah,
man,
if I had to speculate right on the spot, might be some leftover from playtesting.
that is possible, because, man, a lot of stuff about this level in particular just feels weird. Almost like it was made as a testing ground, or just that one troll level.
Alright, so the final 2 boxes are up here. And you have to use the fans to destroy them. Like so.
I guess there's a bit more usage out of the hair blowers from what I remember, but still.
Oh no, you do using this level, but again, it's only generally like two times in the entire game as 2 levels tops.
Yeah.
Okay,
What I had to wonder
are they
though.
being self-aware with the fact that
this
they
one.
named this level after the power?
This one for the
There
box.
you go.
Now, what's the point of this third fan though? There's nothing up there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The clock I just got, that came from the final box, for the record.
Yeah.
What's the point of that third fan? It leads to nothing. Why is that even there?
Going back to our theory, maybe something was supposed to be there in original programming?
I guess.
Placeholder. It still feels very odd.
It is.
Also, you can tell this is a late game level because it literally showers you with collectibles.
Just like with the Marvin stages.
Unlike with a lot of the 3D collect-a-fun platformers at the time, where they ask you to get like half plus 10% of the entirety of the main collectible. This game basically asks you to complete like 90% of it, because you need 120 clocks to finish the game, and the number total of clocks is 124. So yeah,
Oh my.
I mean, there's one. The final level in the Dimension X unlocks with 117 clocks, just to give an idea. So yeah, I get the feeling the developers really wanted to get people to play the entirety of the levels instead of just like half of them.
I think they may have overdid it somewhere, which, okay, you know what, to be fair, I kind of get it, since one thing that was common with a lot of platformers was essentially, hey, you can complete the main game, which is ironically more like half of the levels, essentially. So I'm guessing they wanted to actually make it so that, no, you need to play every level. Which, again, I get it. This way it guarantees that everyone will see all the work they've done. That said, one could argue it potentially backfires if it makes it so that people have to do a lot more collecting as a result, just to get to see the end credits.
All right.
How do you personally feel with the amount of collecting needed to be done for the main?
Oh no, I'm fine with it. Remember, Jova, I'm the lunatic that likes Donkey Kong 64. So
I forget if you have to pretty much do a 100% run to complete this game. Well, I mean, no. I mean, well, obviously to complete this game, but I mean, like, well, to get through the main story.
No.
Like Pedro just said, like 97 roughly percent, because 120 out of 124, it's getting very close.
That's why I mistakenly completing, because you're practically there.
Yeah, you're missing 4 coins.
There's actually a reward for getting all the stuff 100%, which is interesting because there's not really that much of a stretch. Like by the time you've seen the ending, even the neutral ending, you're pretty much close to 100%ing it. So you might as well go all the way at that point.
Why? What's the reward? Bugs Bunny telling me to fuck off.
No, basically there's a different background in the credits.
Oh,
Lives,
mine was actually better.
You watch too many AVGN episodes there, Lives.
It's
Well, that's the thing, wasn't that isn't that considered one of the lesser episodes?
which one?
The Crazy Castle, I guess.
Wait,
episode.
is that the original Bugs Bunny one?
Tunes.
Well, there's two. Remember, there's the original Bugs Bunny.
Birthday Blowout.
The original one, I think, when it was.
Oh, no, mind. The original was Birthday Blowout, right? It wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Crazy Castle was the second.
Right. So yeah, well, that's the thing. The problem with that episode is that it's basically the older one, but with the slapstick skits turned up to 11, basically. I mean, it's well shot. To be fair, like it's well done in terms of technical aspects, which is more than I can say for a lot of the more recent episodes of that nowadays. The 11 Deck Enhancer episode, anybody? I'm not kidding you. In that episode, they literally, instead of having a fight scene, they have the entire fight scene off screen, where we just hear the boom, plop. I'm not kidding you. We don't even see the fight scene. So at the very least, I'll give it compliments on that at least. Downhill Duck.
Right.
So from which short is this based off?
None that I remember. Okay, maybe. Okay, it's keep in mind, it's 1,000 and some odd shorts. It's obviously maybe there was probably some kind of short where they have some kind of thing where they're in the middle of the snow being skiing adversaries or something like that. It's possible, like that it's based on a more obscure short.
Oh, yeah, this bonus level kinda sucks.
Yeah, that's the problem with
This bonus level is actually available on a demo disc.
which is a shame because, like Theo just said, it kind of sucks. The problem with this one is that, as you can see, there's not much to it, and
More distance.
Yeah,
well-
you can die also very easily from those snowballs.
I remember Spyro was on the
Indeed,
same
so.
system. Spyro games were on the same system and they had better draw distance.
well,
Out of curiosity, I gave a look at the PC version, and the draw distance is actually better there. So
Well, that's
it
the
might
thing.
be just
sorry.
it might be genuinely just technical limitations. Go on.
That's the thing with that's Insomniac, and Insomniac have always been technical whizzes. Like hell, even to this day, like for example, we can complain about the inflated budget of Marvel Spider-Man 2 all you want, but say what you want, the money is on screen because Venom's model looks amazing. Holy crap!
I kind of wish the human characters' faces were also on point, but alas.
Well, if you talk about the NPCs and the side quests, definitely.
Oh no, I argue almost every major character fusing to the Uncanny Valley to me.
I'm personally fine with them, but I can see your point.
The internet tends to complain way too much about Mage in Space, but I argue no, it's a general problem.
The internet tends to complain way too much. What else is new?
Okay. I've always felt it's a bit too much of a blanket term for the internet complains, because at that point you might as well be saying that the world complains about it.
I mean, journalists tend to do that too, Jova, so yes, we might have a point.
Yeah, oh God.
Although it is kind of hilarious to me that whenever someone that constantly says game journalism or something is spreadsheet, and then they do exactly the same things they condemn others for.
All right.
Here's a different. Let's get back on track. Go on, Pedro.
To follow up on what Theo just said, the reason this level sucks, you might have already noticed, practically everything kills you in one hit.
Yeah.
So, and every time you die, you have to start the level from the very beginning.
Yeah, no checkpoints.
So yeah, this can get annoying.
I don't know if it's a Mandela effect, but I swear, I remember having an easier time on this level when playing it from the demo disc instead of in the
Maybe
game
it was
itself.
a beta level.
Maybe, or maybe too, they willingly made that demo version of the level easier to make sure people would buy the game. You know.
This is also
Yeah,
another
anytime-
one of those, you know, races to the finish line, but instead counts as a timed, race where you need to collect the blocks to not have
Every time,
Duffy win. Gone.
every time Bugs dies in this level and he laughs, it's like he's laughing at his own fuck up.
I mean, he's the kind of character that will do that sometimes.
Yep. And yes, like Dweb said, the draw distance doesn't help.
I don't remember which character Bugs was paired with during the DC crossovers. He did appear in the Elmer Fudd / Batman story, but it wasn't really the main focus. So I know that Duffy was paired with the Joker of all people. So
Yeah.
Alright, we got through that bit.
And you know, the funny thing is, the funny thing is that in the future, we'll be able to say that Batman has met both Bugs Bunny, because yeah, Bugs showed up in the Elmer Fudd crossover essentially.
So yeah, Bugs, that's the closest you'll ever get to being the Silver Surfer.
Not only that, but
Hold
Batman
on.
will be able to.
Joe, it's Joe's moment.
You're despicable.
There you go.
He said it. Can we go home now?
Is that what
But
Joe
the-
said after recording?
God, Joe.
But yeah, no, like Batman will be able to say he's met both
You have completed
the likes
this
of Bugs
level.
Bunny and Sonic, which means that Sonic
Save your
will
position.
technically be mutuals with Bugs Bunny with
He's
that
a-
DC and Sega crossover.
He's already with Spawn, because of the Image comic license that they had back in the day. So this is nothing too new. I still have to wonder, what did they say to each other in that alleyway? It's just a throwaway panel, but it looks so sinister at the same time.
Wait, Sonic looks sinister?
No, okay, again, here's the setup, the original character, if I recall correctly, are supposed to get back Sonic, but have, ended up in the actual Image universe, and they need to get them. And where they found them in an alleyway where they're talking with Spawn. And Spawn, as you can imagine, is not exactly, super child-friendly, still having the typical 90s Todd McFarlane look, and there's no balloon, so it just gives you the idea that they did talk with each other, but we don't know what they said. It was like Sonic and a couple of the Freedom Fighters, if I recall correctly. And it's treated like just, a random little accident, but I wonder.
I wonder why they didn't actually capitulate on that and at least
It
show
was
what
just
they were talking about.
for a small cameo for a gag, Trova, because Image Comics did started with the idea of a shared universe, but as time went on, it kind of deleted a bit, and eventually each line went on their separate ways, especially because only Spawn and Savage Dragon became, the more prominent ones.
Okay.
All right,
makes sense.
yeah, and I think it's now time to do the factory
Carrot
level.
Factory. Oh wait, no.
The carrot. I think, yeah, if I remember correctly, we're starting the carrot factory in the next part, and this is another level that I'm not particularly that keen on. It can be very annoying, and it takes quite a while.
It's another one of those that go on and on, but I will say that at the very least they were merciful enough to put it, towards the final parts of the game, so at the very least now the player knows what to expect.
I will give them credit. It seems like they did take good care to, for the most part, not put levels that would feel like roadblocks to players, learning curve-wise. I mean, again, the first Pirate Year stage aside, obviously.
Basically, yeah. We still have some missing stuff in the Planet X files, but we'll get those later. This one is already 100%. Yeah, basically, I'm stuck. I have to go to the carrot factory. I don't really have
You
much.
You can't run from your destiny, Pedro.
I guess I can't.
Oh well.
Let it run from it. Destiny arrives all the same.
All right, to the 1930s then. When I figure it out, I guess. There it is. Oh. Okay, I genuinely forgot what was my thought process at this point. I guess I guess I really just don't want to go into the level. So.
Is it really that? Well, then again, I'll admit it's been a while since I. Okay, I'll admit it's been a while.
Okay, technically, it's not like that. It's like god awful or anything. Oh god, cutscene.
Hey!
Yeah, that's it. That's your intro cutscene, by the way. One of the more simpler ones. Like just hey.
Everybody's greatest enemy, offense.
Alright, so it's not so much that the level is god awful, Jova, it's more so that it goes on for longer than it needs to.
Yeah.
To receive a clock symbol.
Fair enough.
Alright, everybody, so in the next part, we will properly start the carrot factory. So, yeah.
Kinda weird you didn't just, like, open with that on the next part.
I needed to fill this up to near a half hour somehow. So,
Yeah.
Alright.
see you, everybody.